My name is Martin Klaassen, and welcome to another edition of Light Talk. In this episode, I'm experimenting a little bit. I've got two cameras with me, one that I'm using normally for my Zoom calls, and the other one which is just my regular Android mobile device. And I'm recording on both right now. Why am I doing that? Because I also want to look at the fact that a lot of our conference calls are nowadays through Zoom to Microsoft Teams and all these different Skype platforms. And we have the opportunity to actually include a virtual background. Now, through my mobile device, I just have my regular office set up, and I've got my books behind me just to emphasize my Light Talk platform. But through my Zoom recording, I've introduced a virtual background, one of our projects, and I think it's interesting that I've seen this trend coming that a lot of people are now using a virtual background to promote their own products and projects and services. So I think it's a really good idea. The one that is shown in my background, if you see my Zoom background right now, it's our Xitang project near a hotel and art gallery, which won numerous awards. And one of them was Lighting Design of the Year award for the Muse Awards. So that you can use that as a background and you can promote your services. So nowadays, when I talk to my clients, I have a background. I have a background that promotes our project. So it's an additional marketing and promotion tool that a lot of people can use nowadays. So we do that as well. I think it's an interesting trend, and I've even seen companies that offer backgrounds for other people. So why not? At the same time, I also would like to point you towards my podcast. As you are aware, we have moved now to doing a podcast, which is available on various social media platforms like YouTube and Spotify and all that. And I would love for you to follow me and to subscribe to those platforms. My goal really is to share my experience from my years of experience. I've got also a lot of footage that I found from my site visits, from working on site, a lot of recordings that I made over the years. And I'll start to share those little snippets that it just gives you a bit of an insight of life as a lighting designer, the challenges that we encounter, that will give you a bit of an insight of what I do as a lighting designer. I know a lot of you have been following me already over the years, but I think this additional video footage that I intend to share, I think is going to be quite interesting. Just recently, just to as a little anecdote, you can still make beginners mistakes, even with so many years in the industry. The other day, I was trying to connect an LED strip, and it was given to me with a driver. I didn't really check. I just connected the two, and it just appeared that it was the wrong driver. It was a 24 volts driver for 12 volt linear light. And after a while, when I switched it on, it worked. But to my great surprise, it started to melt, getting hot. And when I explored it further, I realized that I had the wrong driver with the lights. And these are little small things that you think, well, are you still making these mistakes? And I have to say, yes, I didn't really think. I thought, oh, this has to be put together. They gave it to me like that, and I didn't really check. It just shows you that it doesn't matter how much experience you have, you still need to be vigilant in quite a lot of situations. So that is what the kind of things that I want to share when I'm on site and I experience things that I find and that I would like to clarify. I think that will be really helpful, and I think you'll learn a lot out of that. So that's coming soon. It's free. You can just hit follow or subscribe, but all these platforms are generally free, so you don't have to pay anything. And I think it's going to be quite nice for everyone. Now, what otherwise is happening in our world, the current world really is driving our lighting, I think. The events where there is overall security in terms of hacking and fake news, or where there's a COVID pandemic. Right now there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around in the world. I'm not going to go into that. But through my activities with the Dutch government, I know there's a lot of emphasis on fake news. And we may want to think whether fake news is also entering our online design world. It's all the promotions that people make for, let's say, UVC, all the research that's being done. Is everything tested? Is everything correct? Are we not being muddled with information that is not really scientifically proven? We need to be quite vigilant about that. If you look at ultraviolet C, for instance, there's a lot of patent filing going around. People claiming to have new concepts that they put in there for patents, but it's just a concept. And from what I can see, there's virtually no working models. Everything is based on concepts. So it's yet to be proven, and the proof of those concepts is still not there. So we have to be very careful what's being brought out there. Also, in regards to standards, is there any standard that will determine whether what you propose in terms of ultraviolet light, that it's actually correct? I know UL and TUV are all looking into creating standards, and I'm sure IES is also looking at all that. But to my knowledge, there's no real standard or norms available. So it's still a free-for-all world, and that's why we have to be very vigilant and be very careful. Otherwise, yeah, we are moving forward. I'm finishing a big documentary about the project that you can see if you see my Zoom take. The virtual background, the Xitang Hotel. We have hours of footage that we took. And it's taken a long time to put it all together, but we hope to have that before the end of the year. The rough draft is finished, and we're now working on the editing, the small little details to make it very nice. And as soon as it's out, I'll share it with you. It will probably be about half an hour in terms of the length of this project documentary, but I think you will really like it. So that's it for me. We're looking forward to podcast a bit more regularly. Over the last 2-3 weeks, I've been a bit sloppy. Haven't done that much. But I'm going to try to increase the frequency a little bit and have a bit more to you, maybe with little snippets of information that I have in terms of footage from site visits and things like that. So look out for that, and be sure to follow us on our social media. Thanks, and speak to you next time.